Call to order the regular common council meeting, Monday, November 5th, 7 p.m. Roll call.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Olson? Wellnuts?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Alderperson Olson is excused. The next item is Pledge of Allegiance. We have some scouts that want to lead us in that, so they will be coming in here.
Yeah, right in the front. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys.
I hope you didn't mess that up.
Yeah, I'm videotaping. I'm going like this. No.
They did sit through finance, so it's
Learning
not
curve.
just a short appearance here from them. So. Okay, next item is confirmation of appropriate meeting notice.
Meeting was noticed on Friday, November 2nd. Agendas posted at the post office, library, and City Hall.
Council acceptance of the agenda.
Motion to accept.
Second.
You notice there's a modified clarification.
With the modified changes, with the amended agenda.
I'll second that too.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Personal appearances. Anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, we'll move on to the minutes from October 15th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Finance Committee and Mark.
I'm going to make a motion to approve a final change order from Concrete Service Company for a decrease to the bid for the 2018 sidewalk replacement program in the amount of $12,979.25.
Well, second.
Any discussion?
Are they all done now, Chris? Rona? Tom? They did? Cool.
It's 63.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I'll make a motion to approve a final pay request from Concrete Service Company for the 2018 sidewalk replacement. Oops, I'm in the wrong one here. Make a motion to approve pay request number 5 from G. Fox and Son Incorporated.
Oh, you were
Right.
You're number
There's a change order and then a pay request.
Yep.
Okay. I put a check too soon here somewhere. Okay, so motion for approval of a final pay request from Concrete Service Company for the 2018 sidewalk replacement program in the amount of $1,672.77.
Second.
Any discussion?
Oh, second year of the sidewalk replacement program. One more year to go.
Roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, now I'll make a motion to approve pay request number 5 from G. Fox and Son Incorporated for the Broadway and Chaucer Street Improvement Project in the amount of $63,595.95.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve pay request number 1 from Sutherland Restoration for the painting of the Central Park Pool in the amount of $32,550.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
To make a motion to approve bills and payroll in the amount of $211,651.38.
Second.
Any questions on the bills? Hearing none, roll call.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Isa,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
McIntyre.
Yes.
Motion passes.
At Finance, we moved the operator's license for Melissa Peterson on to discussion here, so. What do you want to?
So I think we have a couple of questions for Officer Varick. Hello. Do we know the date? What was the date of the citations?
I don't, but I see that she has them there. I can.
Oh, you did? You brought them, okay.
My house, and I wasn't there, I was at work. Then he came back to deliver them. I was at work and I picked him up Friday the 19th. I walked over there.
Okay, so you picked them up on the 19th, and this was filled out on the 18th. And,
Here's why I suspended it. It was the morning, well, not Halloween, so the morning of.
okay, so there's a question about, too, when Melissa filled out the paperwork on the 18th,
Of the month of?
October, things, she indicated, yes, she had a valid driver's license. And there's a citation that was written on October 31st, I believe,
Well, Thursday the 1st at 12:16, so,
November 1st.
yeah, I was out.
So she did not fill that application out wrong. She filled it out right at the time when she filled it out.
So I do have one statement on
Yes.
that. Cindy came to me and asked me about this because it was on the agenda. And I had an officer across the street run her driver's license, and it shows that it was suspended on August 17th, 2018, for failure to pay forfeitures. So that was the date that it was actually suspended. So because when we ran her license, it also shows that the address wasn't updated. So the DOT would have sent it to a different address, which it is a state statute that you have to update your address within 30 days of moving. So just other things to consider.
So there was a previous,
Suspension
Okay.
from August 17, 2018.
okay, thank you.
But she wasn't at the proper,
Across the street, and I haven't even been there a month yet.
I'm sorry, what?
I haven't even been in there a month yet. I think, actually, this week will be.
well,
So do you recall your license, it was a suspension, you said?
A suspension for failure to pay forfeiture on August 17, 2018. There was 2 citations that were not paid.
Okay.
So
do
she
you-
would have been mailed notice back in August of that suspension.
Okay.
And I don't know what address it went to.
You're not aware of any citations that you got that you weren't, that you were supposed to pay that you didn't?
No, that's why I was telling Mom to see if it's possible for the police department. Hold it after,
Okay.
or else I would have said no.
so is there anything owed to Edgerton?
Well, this,
Edgerton, no.
okay, but this isn't about whether you had a license or not. It was that you owed, oh, it was suspended.
Yes, the license
Thank you.
was suspended in August.
Okay.
Right, but I,
That's what the DOT records.
I think my question is here is if she actually lied on the application or not.
Yeah.
That's where
No,
and so.
So the reason it was denied by the police department is because of a suspended driver's
Right.
license, which was
Right.
suspended back in August.
Right. Right. I'm not even looking at the yes/no checkbox because I could see where that could be confusing. I'm looking at the other
Right.
background stuff.
So is this in another city or something? Yeah.
No, I don't have that. Besides November 7th, which I ran a court date until, well, November 7th at 6, I have nothing in Edgerton.
Was any attempt made to come in and change your application after you found all this information out?
I just found out how, that my license was suspended. I said I lied to her. My manager just picked up the other girl's thing this morning.
How was the order of suspension made known to you? Was it a notice that arrived in the mail, or was it an in-person?
I got pulled over on Halloween night.
Informed by an officer that had pulled her over.
Person.
Yes.
So I would have checked, no, they didn't have any license, is it? A driver's license, any effect with my.
So you filled it out based on the knowledge that you had at the time you filled it out? But if you filled it out now, it'd be a little bit different. essentially.
I'm going to make a motion to approve an operator's license for Melissa Peterson.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Davis,
No.
Burdick,
No.
Motion passes 3-2.
Okay, moving on
Get those
to,
things taken care of.
moving on to 7. Approval of bids for actuarial evaluation of post-employment benefits in the amount of $3,000.
Motion to approve? I'm sorry, yours was a motion.
Yes.
Second. I'm having a weird night tonight.
Must because it's a big day tomorrow.
Any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts,
Yeah.
Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Motion passes.
To make a motion to approve a bid for the city garage roof repairs in the amount of $18,736.90 to Commercial Building Solutions.
I second that.
Tom, is that what you
Just wondering if that's okay.
requested?
Okay, perfect.
How much did you have budget for that, Tom?
31.
Okay, well,
Budget
cool.
discussion.
So there's an actual, almost a $12,000 saving there.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
To make a motion to purchase a plow blade for the pickup truck from Monroe Truck Equipment in the amount of $6,851 and it to be as a 2018 expense.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve a bid for the sale of the city's 2010 taxi van in the amount of $4,999.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
14, motion to approve bids for the sale of the city's 2014 squad car in the amount of $5,152.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. So this total 10,000, where does that just go back in the general fund, Ramona?
It was budgeted for, so we're expecting that revenue. It's a little more than what we expected, but yes, it's a general fund revenue, but we
Okay.
budgeted for it. It's
So
not
it
like
goes-
extra money.
Okay, it just goes back into, okay.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, I'll make a motion for a public event packet for the Edgerton Home for the holidays and waive the fees.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve an addendum agreement with Cedar Corp for design and engineering of the Sweeney Road construction project.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the addendum agreement with Cedar Corp for additional services on the Broadway Chaucer Street project.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Esau,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Motion passes.
That's all I have for finance.
Thank you. Plan Commission, met earlier tonight, we've got a couple things to take care of here.
Yes, we did, and yes, we do. Motion to approve extraterritorial land division for Andrews Beach Avenue, Section 36, Town of Albion to combine lots.
Second.
Any discussion?
What's that mean? McIntyre.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried.
Okay, the other one is a motion to approve extraterritorial land division for Peterson, East Applewood Drive, Section 14, Town of Fulton to combine lots number 2018, 067.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That was about it.
I'm sorry, that's it. Thank you.
Geez, that one.
Thanks. Tree board.
Medication.
Nothing to report other than we did receive a notification of our first grant application. We were successful, so the tree board has $2,500 of additional funds available for trees from Alliant Foundation.
Thank you.
Boy, moving forward on that one, pretty good.
Fire district.
Thank goodness we have Chief Pickering here to do a report because I don't know if I'd be able to get through it. Chief? Tell it, what?
I said you're assuming I'm going to...
Yeah. Tell us good stuff, Chief.
Activity's a little bit down year over year. We're about 97% of where we were last year. But if you remember, last year was the year we had the 3 100-plus record-setting months, pretty much driven by the interstate. The work that's been done out there between State Patrol and everybody, it's really gotten better. And so we're very pleased with the cooperation and the work that was done out there. Budget, which is always an important thing, is in good shape. We're starting to see building revenues coming back. There's a lot of problems coming out of the economic issues the last few years, and we're starting to see that turn around, and the building revenues are coming in, so that's taking some of the pressure off the budget quite a bit, so that's really good. Our application to advance the paramedic level of service was approved by the Wisconsin Division of Health about 2 weeks ago. It was pending finalization of an agreement with Edgerton Hospital for the drug restocking. One of the things that we've been adamant about from the very beginning, we will not retain any controlled medications in the fire station, any spare stock. It's just really bad things that happen, when that environment exists. So we are working with Edgerton Hospital, as I told Candy earlier, had a great meeting with them today. We have a final agreement in place. It's on the agenda for the district board on Thursday night to authorize the signing of it. So once we do that, everything is a go. We're using January 1st as the kickoff date. There's a 1-year phase-in period that the state gives you when you go paramedic to kind of work out. Because in most cases, and I apologize if I'm kind of repeating stuff here history-wise, but in most cases when a district or department goes paramedic, they've got to go send people to be trained. They've got to work on equipment updates and all those kinds of things. We literally can start on day one. We have got 4 state registered and certified paramedics on our career staff already. We have 5 paid on call paramedics. So we have a total of 9 available to us. There was an anonymous donation made that has covered all of the startup costs for all the drugs and all the medications and everything. From a local citizen, actually an Edgerton citizen, that we thank greatly for that, because that was a huge burden off our back. And then the new ambulance we bought last year, we knew this was coming. It is totally equipped. We did everything we needed for the ambulance, so it's ready to go. So literally, we can start on day one. And for us, the phase-in period will be good, right? And I'm sure there'll be things that we're not going to know, and we're going to learn stuff along the way. But we can start on day one, and we're up and running. So that's a really positive thing for the community. Hospital's been deeply involved with this, our medical control's been deeply involved with this, and it's all just a great story.
And I'll interject here, just today alone, there was a call that, well, several calls over the weekend too. You guys are extremely busy, but the one to do a paramedic intercept. So even today, there was a call that required paramedic services, would help to save a life. And so they did a paramedic intercept, meaning starting to drive to Janesville and Janesville driving to meet part way and then switch in vehicles so they could get the paramedics in with the patient. So all of that will be to the point where our paramedics can provide the service themselves instead of having to kind of wait and do the driving and the switching and the jumping in and out of vehicles, which works very well, but it'll work better now that we have our own staff doing it and we have the equipment and the medications. So ironically, just today alone, just one day, could have.
So yeah, it's a great story. I mean, the city can, the district and all of our municipalities can be very proud of what we're doing there because it's going to be a great improvement to our citizens. So that's a good thing. Then the last thing, just big things off the top of my head, the ISO, the Insurance Services Organization, they're the ones who validate and they rate fire departments. And what that does is that impacts the insurance premiums that your businesses and residences pay based on the perceived or rated quality of your fire service protection. That normally you get reevaluated about every 5 years, like every other organization, a little strapped on personnel. It has been 7 years since the Edgerton Fire Protection District was evaluated. We have our evaluation, which is really a great detailed audit. We have that tomorrow. The consequences are significant in that, and I'll just give you some numbers. Within our district as a whole, there is $2.1 million in insurance payments made annually. That's the amount that our property owners pay for insurance. Depending on how your evaluation goes, a 1-point change on the rating scale can be a 10% impact on the property owner. So obviously, if your level of protection, and Randy's been involved in this, I mean, this is comprehensive. It includes your water supply system, your personnel, your training. It's very exhaustive. But a 1-point change on that scale is a $210,000 impact on our property owners. And that can be positive or it can be negative. So, I mean, this kind of an assessment and evaluation is a big deal. Right now, Edgerton is rated a 5, which is literally right square in the middle. It's a 10-point scale. If you're rated a 10, the assumption is you have no fire protection. So, northern Wisconsin, 25 miles away from a fire station, those are mainly 10s. There are only 2 Class 1 fire departments in the entire state, Racine and Appleton. Racine and Fond du Lac. So that's a standard that's way up there. Our hope is we can maybe try to, we've done a lot of really positive things over the last 7 years for the community. The automatic aid agreements, everything we've worked out, a lot of the work that we've done with municipalities. So our hope is we can demonstrate that the work we're providing is better than it was 7 years ago, and I'm kind of hoping we'll be able to help save our citizens a little bit of money if we can prove that.
Does being a paramedic service help with that?
So this is on the fire service side.
Oh, sure. Okay, you're right. Not the ambulance side. Yep.
Yeah.
Not EMS.
So the advantage, though, is we have career staff in the building, obviously to be there for the ambulance. To the degree that we've hired firefighter paramedics over the last couple of years, so they're dual certified, we get to take credit for those personnel in the station on the fire side. So there's obviously some value.
Sure.
But they don't evaluate the medical service.
Right.
It's only fire protection.
So did we ever decide having a ladder truck, does that help a little bit too? Or are we not sure yet?
Oh, no, we know for absolute sure. I mean, that's an interesting conversation with municipalities, because ladder trucks are very, very expensive. That is a major component of your evaluation, whether or not the property being protected is within 2.5 miles of a ladder truck.
Okay, so we had the ladder truck 7 years ago.
Right.
So at least we haven't downgraded that part, but it's newer,
Yeah.
but, okay, that probably doesn't matter.
What they value, and there's lots of things that they assess, but one of them is the percentage of your properties that are within 1.5 miles of a pumper, the percentage of your properties that are within 2.5 miles of a ladder truck, and then, I mentioned the automatic gate agreements we've established with Stoughton and Janesville and Milton. The other thing they measure is your ability to get 15 firefighting personnel on scene within 10 minutes.
Okay, good.
Most communities can't do that, right?
Right.
And it's just, that's very difficult. But you get to count automatic gate.
Okay, good,
So we do really well because of the automatic gate agreements.
awesome. So that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
And when will the results be back on that? You'll let us know.
It takes several months
Yeah.
by the time they crunch all the numbers. But
Good.
it's a very detailed, comprehensive audit.
Good.
That's what we got going on.
Thanks for your time on that, Randy. Yeah, and a special note, extremely busy weekend for fire and EMS this weekend. Some big calls.
8 calls in 24 hours.
And back-to-back calls and
Yep, double calls going on.
very, very extremely important, crucial, critical calls. You guys did a great job this weekend with the calls that came in.
I should mention, I got it back, there's one thing I should mention, a couple months ago. I think you were aware, we had a young girl that drowned at a campground and was a pulseless non-breather.
Last summer.
In the summer. She and her parents walked into the fire station last week.
Oh, wonderful.
Say thank you to the paramedics and the firefighters that were involved. Exactly. Those are kind of those special moments, as I said to the crews. I mean, it's days like that when you realize the impact that you have and what we do. And it was an amazing system. I know Chris was on the call, Chris Chilson from law enforcement. We talk about a tiered response. And this is a story, I'm actually working with Channel 27 to get some exposure for this because it's just a classic example. It starts with the 911 dispatcher who gave the bystanders instructions about how to start CPR on scene. It then involved bystanders who had the courage to engage and start the CPR. Our ALS response, we had a paramedic intercept coming. We had our medical director, MD1, was coming, and in the end, we actually launched a helicopter because we figured that was going to be the quickest to get the patient to the hospital. All of those pieces, every one of them played a role in the fact that that young lady walked into the station and was able to give the crew a hug. So
That is an awesome story.
that's an amazing story.
I will also elaborate just very slightly on the donation. The individual or the family that donated the twice donation,
The double donation.
double donation, was due to the services that his wife was needing some medical attention a couple times, and it was due to the services that your team provided to his wife, and that's where the donations came from. So you guys are doing an excellent job. I mean, it goes so far beyond what many people know, and when you think about, like you said, patients that walk in to thank you, and then others that give a very large donation, those are great things. So nice job.
That it from the fire district?
Yeah, you want more?
Thank you both. Okay, we'll move on to consider lifting hiring freeze to fill police patrol vacancy.
I'll make a motion to do
Second.
so.
Any discussion?
Have you been able to start, I mean, has it been posted or whatever it is that you guys do
So
for?
we have an eligibility list. We've reached out to the
Good.
top candidate on there. He is available. So timing will work out with our guy that's in training right now. He'll be done the beginning of December. The candidate on the list will finish the academy that first week in December. So it's almost perfect timing.
Wonderful.
It'll slide right in, so.
Very good. Excellent.
Roll call.
Walnuts,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Isa,
Yes.
Motion passes. Next item is to consider adoption of City of Edgerton Resolution 1918, adopting the Wisconsin Historical Society's municipal record retention schedule.
I'll make that as a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Isa,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Walnuts,
Yes.
Motion passes. Next item is to discuss and consider 2019 budget. Go ahead.
All right, there are 4 items to talk about. You may have others you may wish to add. The public hearing notice is in the paper, and when we left the last meeting, it was a balanced budget. The things that have happened since then and the staff report that hopefully you have in front of you. The funbrellas, there are 3 funbrellas that need new canvases on them. That's a $5,400 expense. There's a discussion in your packet regarding lieutenants' wages, and we certainly can go into that in detail if you wish. That is entirely up to you. You may recall the lieutenants and the chief spoke at a prior budget meeting regarding the gap between top patrol and lieutenant's wage was closed when we compressed the wage schedule for the patrol staff. There's a slight increase predicted for the cost of the 2 computers that are already in your budget for the police department. That's $350. And then the other item is an implication from an earlier decision you made regarding the purchase of that plow blade using 2018 funds. That frees up $7,600 in the 2019 budget because you won't be purchasing that in 2018. So with that, I'll help you with any background that we can. There's some suggestions if you choose to do these things, how you might fund those. So I'm happy to try to answer questions if you have any.
When we look at the funbrella, the cost to repair is $5,427. And if I read this correctly, so we cannot use that as an eligible item for a capital surplus.
Yeah,
We would have to use something else, correct?
10-year rule, Tom, probably not unlikely that they would last 10 years.
Close.
Watch how you answer that, because that means you won't be coming to us for another 11 years for another one.
That is
This item, it isn't really,
Maintenance, yeah.
I don't think that was the intention of the capital surplus, is to use
Right.
these kind of maintenance things.
So if I look at capital equipment, we have a concrete saw for $7,000. Could we, if we decided, let's pay for the $5,427 for the funbrella, but move the concrete saw for $7,000 into capital surplus, could we do that?
10-year life on the concrete saw? Yes, you could do that.
Okay.
That's an eligible expense, so then you'd be able to pay out of the regular budget the $5,400 at your proposal.
So then could we use the surplus created by the plow then to pay for the funbrellas?
You could do that as an option, as an alternative.
For the what, Mark?
For the funbrella covers?
What about, use the, what did you say before that?
The surplus, the 2019 surplus we created by purchasing the plow in 2018, use that for
Public?
the...
Why, I'm thinking about, yeah,
$7,600 or...
Yep.
But then you could move the other one to make it so it's a
but,
capital project's expense.
You're looking further down the list?
but I'm looking further down the list, because if we look at the next one, the lieutenants, I'm trying to figure out where's the best amount of money how are we going to shuffle some of that money around? Maybe we make a couple different columns and then decide how we do it. But let's jump down to the lieutenants, to the pay. So based on this, it makes sense to me that, there's a wage gap there between the lieutenants as compared to the top patrol staff. So there's not a big enough gap there to really entice somebody.
Incentivize.
What? Incentivize, yeah. So I do think that we need to bump that up a couple dollars per hour. And if we did that, every dollar per hour wage increase is $5,166. So if we went $2 per hour, we're looking at, what, $332. And what I would like to see done with that, though, is take that money and put it in the budget for 2019, but not apply it right away until we get a new chief and discuss it with the chief. I'm a little bit concerned about arbitrarily making some decisions while we're right in the process of hiring a chief. Have that money available to do it, but not apply it right away until we have the chief. So that's one thing I think that we really do need to do.
Are you saying until we have him hired or until we have him to
Hired.
negotiate with them?
Oh, I think it ought to be a joint discussion with the chief.
Right, but once he's hired, then
No.
the incentive ain't really needed.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, this is
No, this isn't
lieutenants.
for the chief,
This
excuse
is
me,
the
no.
lieutenants.
Okay.
This is discussion between lieutenants.
Okay.
Am I saying the right categories, the lieutenants versus,
Yeah, it's the difference between top patrol pay and lieutenants.
right, there's hardly any difference between the two of them.
Okay, no, I'm following
And we're
that.
talking hourly and salary, and there's no big wage difference for them to jump from one position to a different.
And the other thing to consider too is the current rate is a new lieutenant will start out at $1.40 an hour less than the rate that we're talking about here, because they have those 2 steps built in. So that's just something else to keep in mind when factoring that, so that we don't set it at a certain rate and then they still take a pay cut when they start.
Correct.
Because we go
So the likelihood of accepting a promotion would be greater with the larger gap?
Yes, I would. I mean, it depends, of course, on the individual if they even want to go that route, but I would say yes.
Because why would they take on the added responsibility
Right.
for less money?
They wouldn't
Right.
get a pay cut technically,
Yeah.
but they're not going to get a raise. Your
They're
point
not
is very
gonna- yeah.
valid. That's an ending wage that we have here, not a starting wage.
Yes.
That's important to remember, too.
Yeah, so this has nothing to do with the chief's salary. This is just the lieutenants and the lieutenants. But I'm very uncomfortable if we're in the process of hiring a new police chief and us making those decisions without further conversation with him or her. But I do feel it's important that we have it in the budget for next year and that we get working on that as quickly as possible. So that's my 2 cents with the lieutenant piece.
I think something we got to look at too is down the road, because if we just do a couple bucks or something each time, we have to do it every time. What we should do is get a percentage, my opinion is get a percentage from the top to the bottom, so we always know there's a differential and we can budget it automatically, because the patrols are negotiated, right, contract? And it's next year, December, so we can do a 1-year shot this time, and then after that, we can
But then the next year,
when they negotiate,
let's
we can
continue
set
to
it for,
look at
what,
that.
3 years? What do they do, 3 years, 5 years?
2
3?
contracts?
3 contracts?
2
3?
most recently.
Oh, 2? Oh, well.
Yeah, it's been anywhere from 1 to 3 at various time, depending on what the circumstances are.
Over the years.
But if we set it at after this time, we get the chief and get some input and set it at a percentage differential, we can always have it in the budget. We won't have to address
Right.
how much, $1, $2, $3 every time.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be as big of a catch-up as what,
Right.
Yeah. Now, I think we need to do this to at least get that ball rolling.
Right.
So if we look at that, we're looking at $10,332. I mean, and then if we look at the surplus from the plow blade of $7,600, it makes sense to me to look at that, 600, 2, 3, or 27, 32.
Or if you're
Short.
trading the
Yes.
plow blade and applying those funds to the lieutenant wage increase?
Correct.
You're saying is we got to get rid of the umbrellas.
No, I am not. No, I am not, but I know you're big on them, so you just remember that the next time you want one, that it's going to cost us.
All right.
No, I am saying...
But if you're saying taking the money...
What I am saying is to use the surplus from the plow blade to help offset the $10,332 for the lieutenant increase, okay? Use the umbrella dollars, or to get to the umbrella dollars, move
Concrete saw into the
the
capital surplus.
concrete saw under capital equipment over to the surplus, capital surplus, and that that's $7,000 there. We can fund the umbrella out of that $7,000 and have money left over from that,
Okay,
too.
so we're actually taking money out of capital surplus and all in all in the end.
Correct.
We're not pulling this all out of the current numbers.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And what do we got left of capital surplus, Ramona? It was like, what, 60 grand, was there, somewhere around there?
Based on the bids for the roof, it's right now estimated to be about $75,000.
Yeah, right, because of roofs, right.
Yeah, because we're getting money because of that roof. We're ahead
About 12,000.
almost, well, 11,000.
Considering that, it's about 75,000 is what you have.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we would be able to make it work.
Oh, wow. What a
All
hero.
right, Tom.
More ice cream for you.
But with them scenarios there, with the extra money coming from the roof and the saw going to the capital surplus
Want me
to
to,
fund
you
it,
said?
and
Or
then
you
the plow truck, I think we can do this.
So I'll make a motion, but do I have to do these all individually? Or what do you think is the best way to do it?
Well, it may be best to do them all individually, although they are, just
They
so
all kinda
that
come
someone
together.
doesn't like one piece of it, someone doesn't
Right.
throw it out, so.
Yeah.
The plow blade decision is already made, you made that earlier.
The plow blade decision is already made, but what, can I make a motion to say how we want to apply the money from that plow blade?
Yes,
From the savings of that plow blade?
sure.
I'd like to make a motion to apply $7,600 from the plow blade that was in the 2019 budget, which no longer is needed in the 2019 budget. Apply that to the $10,332 needed for the lieutenant's increase of $2 per hour.
And I'll second that.
Well, I'm not quite done because
Okay,
there's
you wanna-
still...
you wanna throw some more
And
in.
the $2,732 that is needed to fund that to come out of the contingency? No, do we want it from the contingency fund? Or the...
I might suggest, because there's a few other things that are shuffle
Oh,
numbers.
don't
Why don't we
do
wait
that
to see where
part.
we are regarding contingency?
Okay.
That might be easier.
I just don't want to lose track of these dollar
Right,
amounts,
and I'm keeping
or you
track
got
of
it,
it.
thank
Yep.
you. Okay, so that's my motion. Don't ask me to repeat it, please.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I already did.
Oh, Matt did.
Not a
Did you
complete
get it,
motion.
Cindy?
I just have the motion to apply $7,600 from the plow blade to the $10,332 for a $2 increase per hour for the lieutenants.
Correct.
I'll second that.
How many seconds do we need?
Well, I was trying to go on what Candy was saying earlier, but she didn't have it in a motion, but well, whatever, it don't matter either way, as long as it goes forward. Irrelevant.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Davis,
Yes.
McIntyre,
Yes.
Wellnuts,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Isa,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Then I'll make a motion to pay for the umbrella repairs of $5,427 out of the 2019 budget, and move the concrete saw per amount of $7,000 to
Capital.
the capital project surplus.
I'll second.
So that's, and you're keeping track of the, because we've got a savings there now. We've got extra money, I mean, not extra money, but we've got money.
No.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, just from this one, from the umbrella.
Correct.
Yes,
Gained a little bit.
Yep.
we gained a little, thank you, we gained a little bit.
Cut into the 2732.
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Just a minute.
Okay.
So I have a motion to include the umbrella canopy replacements of $5,427 in the 2019 budget and move the $7,000 for the concrete saw to the capital surplus fund.
Yes, that's what if I didn't say it that way, that's the way I want it said.
All right. And
Okay.
the second was, who seconded?
I did.
Thank you.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Roll call.
Davis?
Yes.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
So then Ramona, could you tell us where we're at then for the capital project surplus?
To capital project surplus or well, you,
For both, all of them. Both, go ahead.
right now you need to remove, you have to still deal with this requested $350 for computers, and you need to remove $1,159. So.
From the budget?
Correct. And you
Yeah.
could take, that's a contingency
Take
thing,
it out of
Yes.
contingency.
and then you'd have a balanced budget.
$1,159 for the budget, we have to remove
Plus the
to
350.
balance, plus 350, right?
Correct.
What about the savings from the city garage roof?
That's not part of your general fund. That's
Got it.
already sitting in capital surplus.
So that's, okay,
that's-
good. So we'll do the general fund
That's
first.
going to be reduced by the decisions you've made this evening, but that isn't part of balancing your budget right now.
Then I will make a motion to take $1,509 out of the contingency fund
Second.
to balance the budget.
And that motion then implies that we are adding $350 for computers.
Yes, I'm sorry, the 350, yes, let me back up, because I think we need to make that a motion first.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to pay for the increase of $350 in the budget to pay for the police computers.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Davis?
Yes.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So with all those being done, we're over budget by $1,509, if I'm correct.
You're correct.
I'll make a motion to take $1,509 out of the contingency fund to balance our budget.
Second.
Who was that second?
Second. McIntyre.
Yeah.
My work has been done.
Madam?
Any further discussion?
I hope not.
Hearing none. Roll call.
Davis?
Yes.
McIntyre?
Yes.
Esau?
Yes.
Wellnuts?
Yes.
Burdick?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And my only other question is, so what will that leave us in our contingency fund? Do we know, and if you don't have it, that's fine, roughly.
Probably, let's see, 20 minus 15, so 18.3.
Okay. And then the capital project surplus?
Minus 7, so about 67, 68.
And that's with the savings from the garage roof?
Correct. Yep.
Thank you.
And the expenditure of the concrete saw,
Okay, yes.
net of all of that.
I think so.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Nice.
So public hearing is next meeting, unless you have other changes
Thank
at this
you.
point.
I hope you took good notes, because I won't remember.
Cindy's got it.
Did we cover all of these things in here, Ramona? I
Yes,
think
in the staff report, yes.
in the staff report,
So I don't
okay.
know if anyone has any other changes.
Yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think? Anything more?
With what?
Do we need a motion then to
Yeah,
present
with
the
the budget.
budget for the public hearing, or is just the way it is right now is?
We do not need a motion at this point. The notice is in the paper. Had you made significant changes this evening, we might have had to repost the notice, but these changes don't constitute a
Okay,
repost.
good.
Speed limit sign out.
Now, we do have that, and for your library, we got your AC replacement in there, right,
Yes.
Kristen?
Last minute, because everybody thought this was settled.
Remember that last time?
No, it's out. Real quick question.
Are we getting a new speed limit
Yep.
trailer?
Yep.
Yes.
I thought we took that out, it was great.
Oh, it got put back
I
in.
added
Put it back in at the end of the meeting.
Oh, okay, so that's an, okay.
Oh, the
Doug, do you
capital
think we
surplus
need that
funds?
speed trailer? I mean,
Capital
need,
surplus.
need.
We get constant complaints about speeding on all kinds of streets. Having the speed trailer and actually setting it up, we're going to bring data back and say, look, we see your complaint, we understand your complaint, but here's the average speed on the street. We're only seeing 2 speeders through this time. It would be good to have something to generate that data to either confirm or, because when our officers sit there with their squad cars, people see them. We can set the speed trailer out, and the newer ones now aren't the size of a giant bus. They're smaller, more compact, they're less visible.
Yeah, I was gonna just say that, people see that, they slow down.
Sometimes.
But we can actually set it to where it isn't showing a speed, so it doesn't look as much, and it's
okay.
just collecting the data.
Okay,
And we can get better data. I know we had a big complaint on Hain Road a couple of years ago. We set the speed trailer out. We had 2 speeders out of like a few thousand cars over a week.
so it's more to validate, it's not for, I mean, you can't go back and give tickets or anything
No,
based
we
on
can't
it.
give tickets.
It's just more validation.
It gives us
And-
data and helps tell us, I mean, I would like to see it used, set it around town and find out where we can direct officers to go and say,
Now
hey,
that-
go sit on this street, go sit on that street, go stop these people. Here's where we're seeing the problem.
Now, see, that to me makes a little bit more sense, yeah.
And safe.
And, yeah. Okay.
Okay, anyone else have anything for the budget? Okay, we'll move on to mayor, alderperson, and staff reports. Looks like Book Fest was fairly well attended. Looks like a lot of things went on. Pancake breakfast for the fire department, I think that was probably one of the best turnouts we've had in ever doing them. It worked out real well.
That was good.
And I have not been out to the hospital yet, but there's some pictures missing in here, and there's a bunch more out there of all the area veterans from all time displayed out there. So if you get an opportunity to get out there and take a look at that. And then I think it's election day tomorrow because there's some booths set up here, so
Blue skies,
vote.
smiling at me.
31 million people have already early voted. 31 million.
That was all I had.
Yeah,
Anybody else
Chris,
have anything?
thanks for bringing that up about 1111, you know, it's a really good display out to the hospital and stuff, you know, it's a great tribute to what they're doing out there. It's just wonderful and so forth. Yeah, and thanks, Randy, for everybody that put all the pictures together about 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago from the vets building up there, and excellent job you did, so and so forth. The Book Fest was good. I attended it all day long.
Anyone else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Carried.